Get the fuck out of here! Go home! We don't want you here. We don't like your kind here. We only like people in blue cars around here. One more. Don't honk at me. Don't honk at me, asshole. The gate is open. Time to go through. Are you ready for what's on the other side?
Nope. Oh, God dang it.
Yeah, entitled parents. I don't know what to say anymore. Thankfully, like I said, thankfully I've never had to deal with like parents having that entitlement that basically just makes them make. Instead, I've had to deal with entitled, like an entitled sibling, and that whole situation just completely makes me sympathetic for my parents. But at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know what to say except for just people need to understand you don't have to domineer over people, and you don't have to like make people feel like you're entitled to something from them. It's like a parent. It's like the parent is being like, I birthed you onto this planet, therefore you should listen to me. And then the kid is just like, I went through this whenever I was young, so therefore you owe me. I ran into that a lot. Sheesh. But honestly, I don't know what else to say about r/entitled parents. Let's just see what stuff comes up here, and let's try not to like get so mad that we want to break something.
Neighbor lady is mad I won't let her kids use my pool unsupervised. I just moved into a new place with a pool out back. Neighbor lady comes up to the fence the other day while I'm having a beer and doing some yard work. After the greetings and whatever, the rest goes like this. EM. The people who lived here before would let my kids use the pool in the summertime. They're really sad about not being able to anymore. Why the guilt trip? Just ask. Oh, well, I don't mind as long as you're there. I can't watch them. Well, the last people would watch them because their own kids were there too. They'd just sit out back. Okay, but I can't watch your kids. If they're going to be in my pool, you have to be here. I don't have time. I don't know why you can't just sit there and watch them so they can swim. I had no idea how to respond to this. She caught me so off guard.
Like, I don't have time either, lady. What the fuck?
It's like I don't have time. Neither do I. You think I am supposed to be here?
For free babysitter.
Sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Change the lock on the gate because I'm afraid she has a key and will send her kids over alone. I don't have a problem with the kids using the pool, but I don't want to babysit the kids of someone I don't know around water.
Yeah, you don't want to get sued when they drown in your pool.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Not a great thing. That responsibility should not fall to you. And if you do actually have that fear, I do urge you to actually do that, because you do not need some woman suing you because one of her children injured themselves on your property, even though they were not allowed to be there. And it does also suck that now she can say, well, you said it was okay. It's just, change the lock ASAP. Please do. I'd be hanging up some cameras and changing that lock. I think I'm going to have to. I'm terrified of an unsupervised kid drowning.
Yeah, put a no trespassing sign in your pool area, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Said before, I know that wasn't the biggest point, being sued and everything. Obviously, the kids getting hurt and being safe, all that stuff, that is more important. That's where my mind goes, because in the United States, we are unfortunately conditioned to think about that sort of thing almost instantly in every scenario. Obviously, the children's safety is literally more important than whether or not a guy gets sued. You know what I'm saying. Please don't take me as a moron. I really don't like that anymore. That's probably why the last people moved. They were sick of watching their neighbors' kids. Don't let this person's children swim in your pool, even with supervision. If anything happens, they're the type to sue. There you go. So, I'm not wrong. Protect yourself, please. Yeah, absolutely. Protect yourself, and know that in doing so, you will probably also be protecting those children. So there is that. Best entitled parent shutdown ever. I dearly wish I could claim this was me or even a relative, so I could claim this degree of clever was in my genes, but it was not. It was a bouncer at a small town club, and when he made the comment, there weren't even the expected cinematic oohs or what What's one would expect? Just a dead echoing silence from about 40 onlookers. No need for cast. How dumb are you? This mother and daughter pair were trying to get into the club late in the evening. The daughter was clearly young and actually reasonably attractive in quite a nice, fashionable, as best my fashion-blind eyes can tell, outfit. I really don't need to know how attractive anyone's daughter is or whether or not you think they are. I don't know why that's... I don't get it. The mother was not...
Well,
because that's how bouncer jobs work at clubs.
Yeah, I mean...
They only let attractive people in because that's how they make their money.
Well, I think the person who's writing this is like a younger guy, and he's probably talking about it. It's just like, she was attractive, but that's about it.
When you think about what is the point of a club like that, when you really think about it, the point's pretty much guys are going there to try to pick up ladies. Ladies are sometimes going there to hang out with their lady friends, but if they're going to a club, there's a pretty good chance they're going to get hit on at some point.
Yes.
So the bouncer, whenever they're being like, you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out for capacity at a certain place, what's going to be the most beneficial to a place like that in terms of the people they get coming in? It's if the dudes go in and they see nothing but a sea of attractive ladies. You know, if everybody in there is attractive,
they're gonna spend more money.
Exactly.
On the drinks
then they're gonna go
and-
back, like
Yeah.
because they're like, dude, all the hot girls go there. You know.
Yeah.
So that's why the bouncer's probably saying that, is it was probably like, yes, I totally would have let the daughter in, but he's probably about to say her
I don't
mom's
think it's
a hag, pretty much.
I don't think it's the bouncer that's writing this, though. I think he's talking
I thought
like...
he said it was a bouncer.
No,
I think
the
it's
bouncer...
An onlooker.
No, it's an onlooker, like... It was a bouncer at a small town club. He's referring to the bouncer in the third person, and he's referring to himself. It's like, I think the bouncer's going to say something to the entitled people coming to the door, and he's just an onlooker. Plus, that's why I think it's not really, integral to the whole thing with, Robin saying, I don't know why I need to know why someone's daughter is attractive. It's like, dude, this guy was probably like a young guy who was there.
Context.
Yeah.
Information.
Yeah.
Is or whether or not you think they are. I don't know why that's... I don't get it. The mother was not obese, but certainly overweight, and had shoehorned her corpulence into hot pants and a tank top that would have been trashy on a supermodel and friends. Okay, she was no supermodel. Badly dyed stringy hair, cheap bulky jewelry, spray on orange skin, all the trailer trimmings. All right. I didn't hear how the exchange started, but clearly these two were trying to cut ahead of the line. The bouncer, this massive action figure of a black man with an oddly babyish face and the patience of Job, had denied this effort. Hilarity ensued. The daughter threw a few verbal jabs, but seemed to just be mildly irritated. The sideshow hooker of a mother lost her bloody mind, shrieking racial epithets that would curl the ear hair of a plantation owner and every horrific name you care or do not care to imagine, interspersed with the expected, do you know who I am, and get me the owner, etc. The bouncer just stood there and didn't react with anything but polite direction. Downright heroic. After a few minutes of this vile screeching, the daughter is now embarrassed as hell and trying to pull the mother away. People are gathering to watch the whole thing, and it's become a spectator sport. The bouncer just kept politely saying, you will need to go to the back of the line like anyone else, ma'am, or variations on that theme. By now, the woman wasn't even trying to argue this point, just squealing and revolting, and at this point quite repetitive insults. Then she screamed that he was an awful bouncer and he'd get fired that night. Then she tried to slap the bouncer. She missed quite badly, at which point the bouncer took a single step forward, she fell back with a shriek, and said quite proudly, ma'am, at any point tonight have I ever told you how to off flabby, obese old men in an alley for 5 pounds a shot? Clearly baffled, she said nothing but sputtered. He continued, no ma'am, I have never said anything like that, not once. So don't tell me how to do my job. Dead silence, like 40 people in the street, not a sound. She yelled a couple more things, then scuttled away with her daughter, dragging her by the arm. It's been over a decade, but I still want to go find that bouncer and buy him a drink. I really hate jobs where you're allowed to take racial slurs and threats of physical violence and threats of your job. I don't know why, I don't care, but if anybody anywhere ever came in and says anything like that to you, whether you're a server or working at a grocery store, you should be able to tell them to get the out and never come back. You are not welcome in this place anymore, you stinky little. And those exact words too. We should have a script. Print it out. That's the thing you're allowed to say to anybody who does that, okay? And then when you get off work, you can go kick their ass. I don't come to your job and kick the out of your mouth is another way I've heard this one.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Someone needs to get that man
Do I come to where you work and knock the dicks out of your mouth? I don't think so.
a drink, then another Karen for him to slay. She wasn't a Karen. That was a Laverne of Crystal. A what?
Laverne or Crystal.
Laverne or Crystal, not of. That sounded more like a title. Shrieking racial epithets that would curl the ear hair of a plantation owner. Possibly the best short description I have ever read. I wish I could come up with such a fire roast on the spot like that fine legend. Oh, he was definitely thinking about it the entire time. My own entitled parents made me listen to 4 hours of online preachers in the effort to cure my gayness.
Wow.
Man, parents out there really trying to do that still, huh?
Let it be, man. Let it be. Like, all you're doing is you are forcing your child away from... You're going to make them associate this with bad. Like, that's all you're doing. To cure... Like, dude... Let the person be who they want to be, as long as they're not hurting anybody else.
Also,
What's
it's
the
just going to
problem?
make them rebel even more
Yes.
and cling to that more than you.
Yeah.
So for context, I was outed as gender fluid, aromantic, asexual by my brother about 4 months ago. My parents didn't take it well, and they liked to pretend that nothing happened. Well, yesterday, my parents came to me and said, "It's time to cure your sin." I started to panic inside, but only replied, "Okay, which sin are you talking about?" They said, "Your homosexuality." FYI, being aro or ace isn't technically homosexuality, but they don't care to learn the difference. Well, crappy parents never would? They led me to the computer and sat me down. They pulled up an online preacher and said, "You'll listen until you no longer feel gay."
What in the hell?
I'll just be like, okay, I no longer feel gay now.
It's like, hey, I don't feel gay. I don't feel anything. That's what being aromantic and asexual is. I don't feel anything. So how can I be gay if I don't feel anything?
You know, I do believe you, but this is starting to feel about as on the nose as it possibly can. So I sat there, I listened to this guy's talk. It was about 25 minutes long. My parents came up to me and asked if I still felt gay. I responded that I can't really change how I feel, so they put on another one.
Bro, just tell them that I don't feel gay anymore. I never did. I don't know why you're...
This went on for 4 goddamn hours. They finally gave up, and I hope they never try again. TLDR, I'm LGBT. My parents don't like it. They tried to cure me. It didn't work. They kept trying for 4 hours. Oh my god. Well, time to make them listen to Doom themes for 24 hours. I admit...
I would gladly do that. You know what? Might make that a challenge. Listen to the Doom soundtrack for 24 hours straight. I could probably do that. Doom and Doom Eternal. Yeah, I could do that. And hell, throw Doom 3 in there. Tweaker did a killer job on that album.
I really don't understand gender fluidity and hadn't heard of aromantic. Regardless, what your parents did was terrible. You are who you are, and I'm sorry they haven't accepted that. This is when I would turn it around on them. Tell them you have no interest in men, because you don't, so you're not gay. Then say something like, "In fact, I'm way less of a sinner than both of you. I will never partake in the sinfulness that is sex. I will stay pure for Jesus, and only Jesus. I, like the monks, will stay celibate like a good Christian." Bonus points if you immediately start singing some fitting psalm, if there are any, while holding both of your hands out, looking up and rolling your eyes back.
Nobody Padre, Filio, Spiritus Sancti.
They're gonna be like, "Oh my god, they're possessed." So they're just
Yes.
that ignorant.
He's like, yes, I am, Mother. I am possessed by the Lord. The Lord is speaking through me.
Oh, God.
Okay, that might be a little bit much, but something like that. If you do that, and they start talking about demons...
You know what? I would prefer it if Catholic priests were asexual and aromantic, because then you wouldn't...
You called it, by the way. You just made a prediction.
Oh, no.
demon possession or something, you should answer that you're only possessed by your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You
Drats.
are a genius. Hell yeah. Holy moly, I'm so sorry this happened. I only hope things get better and they become more accepting. It's also a shame that your brother ousted...
Just...
All right.
I only
just
hope
the
things get
casual
better and they
belch
become
thrown
more
in there.
accepting.
I wonder if Laszlo, the main editor for the channel, kept that in because he was just like, you didn't re-record the line, so I'm just going to keep it in. Because it's just like all of a sudden, it's just like, proceeds to take a drink of soda.
It's also a shame that your brother ousted you rather than you being able to do it yourself. Hope you're doing okay. I hope. Did it work? Checks queerness levels. Nope. Another session it is then.
Another session!
Entitled woman tries to get family evicted and it backfires. My boyfriend just told me this story and I thought it belonged here. When he was 14, he was living with his mom and sister on a housing estate. It was
British.
summer, and he liked a bit of light in his upstairs bedroom, so he left the curtains open at all times. That included when he was getting dressed and after having a shower. So, if you purposefully stared at his window, you could only see him from the waist up. Well, their neighbor did not like that one bit. She went pounding on their door, yelling at my mother-in-law that her son was a disgrace, hanging around always naked and exposing himself to her daughter, same age as him. My mother-in-law told her he had every right to do what he wanted in his bedroom, and that if they didn't want to see him, all they needed to do was not look. A couple of days went by, and lo and behold, the police showed up at their door. Turned out the neighbor had been filming and taking pictures of my boyfriend to show the housing people as evidence of his wrongdoing to get them kicked out.
What in the fuck?
Is this man of age?
I doubt
Congratulations. You have just committed child pornography.
It actually doesn't even matter if they're of age. It's still illegal.
it.
Yeah.
'Cause you have to have their permission.
Yeah,
You
it's
can't
true.
film someone through a window of their own property.
No.
Like, that's very illegal.
Yeah. You
You can
know,
film someone all day in a public area, but you
Yes.
can't go and film someone through their windows. That's
hell, you can't even
voyeurism.
film people on their own property. That's just like this guy who tried to get his neighbor in trouble with like the homeowners association by showing him pissing off his back dock into the river behind their house. Dude, the homeowners association literally, went to the man's door of the guy who took the picture and said, he's on his property. Why are you taking pictures of him pissing on his property? And it's because they had a spat between each other, and they were both looking for a reason to. One was looking for a reason to get the other one kicked out of the neighborhood. It's like, Jesus.
You should just go without the picture to the homeowners association and be like, this guy keeps peeing just out in the middle of everywhere where everybody can see him. Could you guys ask him to stop? Like, that's the action to take there.
Yeah.
Except that the housing office called the police on her for taking pictures and videos of an underage kid and kicked her and her family
Nice.
out. Man,
Good.
they did not think that one
Ripped.
through, did they? Sometimes the perceived problem is more the problem of the perceiver than that of the perceived. I had a similar problem. My fiancé was sick from work and decided to take a shower. The bathroom window was frosted, and he only had it slightly open, so if anybody wanted to look inside, it would require real effort. We had a kooky neighbor who would walk into our yard uninvited. She claimed that our lemon tree was public property and she can walk in to take whenever.
No.
You already should have done something about that.
I'm sorry, but if the tree is growing on your property, then that tree is
Those
your
lemons
property.
are yours.
Yeah, those lemons are
She's
100%
stealing.
yours.
So this day, she walked all around the back and peered through the bathroom window as my fiance was stepping out. She then ran to the body corporate to complain that there was someone naked in the house. Luckily, our other neighbor is on the body corporate, and she asked his side. She was evicted shortly afterwards for trespassing on other people's property. Good. Perfect example of what happens when you don't stop and think of where your actions will lead. Oh, absolutely. Not many people like to actually think things through, like really, truly, thoroughly. Reminds me of a time some friends of ours were having problems with these blue hair old biddies. What? These ladies would sneak around the outside of their house, peeking in on windows, even through cracks in the drapes. Why, you asked? To see if they were playing cards. No good Baptist would ever play cards, and these biddies were going to catch them.
Yeah, biddies. That's like the old ladies. Like that's a slang term for old
Yeah, I was
ladies.
gonna say if I caught blue hair old biddies sneaking around looking in my window, I would walk out and just be like, you probably would have got burned as a witch for doing this kind of shit back in the day, right?
Yeah.
It's
like-
fucking creepy. Get the hell out of my yard.
It's like you're playing cards. You shouldn't be playing cards. Then go pray about it, Beulah.
Friends left that church. Good. Who knew teenage sleepovers were so dangerous? What the hell do you mean, who knew? My daughter had a friend over for a sleepover last weekend. They're both 13-year-old girls. It was all fairly standard stuff. Watch crappy movies, stay up too late, eat too much junk food, you know the drill.
Yeah.
Both kids seemed to have a nice time, and the visiting kid was nice enough for someone else's teenage child, and I really didn't think too much more about it. Until the friend's mother called me Sunday night, absolutely outraged over what I had done while her child was in my care. Was it allowing them to stay up too late? Was it the junk food? Was it the choice of film I allowed them to watch? No, my crime was far worse than that. Imagine the mother's horror when she discovered that I had allowed her child to, wait for it, drink tap water.
I have my theories about tap water. I have my thoughts on it. I try not to drink it as much. But dude,
Yeah, I don't drink it anymore myself.
I don't drink it because
I only
I at
use it
least
for
want it
certain
run through a
things.
filter of some kind if I'm gonna
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
water.
That's usually what I do.
not
It's
bottled.
like we have the one on the fridge and that's about it. But yeah.
Turns out only bottled water is acceptable for her family. Now, I know some places there are issues with drinking water coming out of the tap.
Flint, Michigan comes to mind.
We live in an area with excellent tap water quality, so I was kind of baffled what the issue was. I told her, our tap water's fine, and your kid didn't say anything at the time. But oh no, that wasn't good enough. You see, tap water has toxins in it. It's not safe, and her family only drinks bottled water, and she is frankly shocked and disturbed that her child was associating with the child of such an awful, awful parent.
okay, but bottled water.
Most of the time, bottled water is just tap water. It's
Also, it's in plastic, and when it's heated up, like all
microplastics.
yeah, the BPA and all that shit.
Yeah, that's.
Mr. Kitty has appeared.
Oh, hello there, Vega. The chunky lad has arrived.
Where's my food?
You don't get food for another several hours.
Yeah, it's only 11 o'clock. Look at.
And that I could rest assured she would be calling CPS first thing Monday to have my child removed from such a harmful environment.
What in the fuck?
And I guarantee
Over water?
I guarantee a child protective service would be like, ma'am,
This is the
Ma'am,
stupidest
this-
call.
ma'am, I would like to ask you real quickly. Are you home right now? Yes, I'm home right now. Okay, good. Yeah, send 3 units over to this address. Ma'am, there will be people arriving at your home to take your child away from you. But my child doesn't drink tap water. It's like, yes, ma'am, we're aware of that, but you are crazy, and we are taking your child away from you.
Okay, whoa. That is not the type of threat to be made lightly.
No.
I had CPS called, I was taken away, and it took them literally 1 minute to make that decision, even though they were not right in that moment in terms of doing it. Oh, I was just kind of stunned and didn't really say anything, and she hung up on me. I'd love to know where she thinks bottled water companies get their water from. And second, we're in Australia, and CPS isn't a thing here. So yeah, they're out there, and there must have been an update. I do completely think if you falsely threaten or falsely go through with a CPS related deal, you say that to somebody for doing nothing wrong at all, they should be able to sue you into the goddamn ground. That is a disgusting thing to threaten
Basically
someone
the
with.
same as swatting somebody.
Yes, 100%.
It's like,
And it's even
in my opinion, like both that and swatting are like on about the same level in terms of fucked up things to do.
I agree.
worse knowing that that threat can actually work, regardless of the circumstance. You have to wonder how or if the mother showers, brushes her teeth, washes her hair. You get what I'm saying? Worked in a bottled water plant. There are less regulations on bottled water than on city or tap water. The bottled water industry is a lie, duh, and making money from taking lake water or swamp water, making it clear, then selling it to you without proper filtration or treatment. I do believe that to a certain extent, but if that were really, fully, completely true, wouldn't bottled water be people up at a crazy rate?
Well, I think that's the case actually with like Nestle and shit like that.
Oh, fuck Nestle, dude.
Owns a lot of the bottled waters, but there are certain brands that I don't think they own. Like, hang on, let me double check this real quick. God damn it, there's still a shark on my screen. When I try to help you find that video, really. Jump scared myself.
Like, whoa!
Does this?
Well,
I own Fiji.
Fiji water.
Fuck, they do own the... They're a subsidiary of Nestle that owns the brand of water that I like.
What?
Deer Park.
Oh, I like Deer Park, all right.
Deer Park tastes way more fresh than any tap water I've ever
Dude,
had.
Dasani.
Dasani tastes like
Dasani
fucking
anymore.
hairspray. There's something fucking wrong with Dasani.
Okay.
Tap water destroys Dasani in terms of taste.
Which bottled
Aquafina
water
is not far behind it either.
companies are not owned by Nestle? Okay.
Fiji.
Boss.
Okay, so there we go. Montpellier,
Fiji's on there.
Aquafina, Dasani, Voss, Fiji,
It's
Evian,
surprising that
Arto,
Dasani is not owned by Nestle.
Happy, Smart, Flow, Tap, Great Value, Presidential Choice, Icelandic, Eska, Smart, Water,
They put
Alkaline.
tap on there.
Yes. That's hilarious.
That's awesome.
That is hilarious. I'm not joking. Look at this. This
literally
list.
on there.
This list compiled by dmcoffee.blog. You can tell like they're being funny here. They're going legitimate. You know, Montpellier. You know,
They put it in the middle.
Aquafina, Dasani, Voss, Fiji,
Well, actually,
Evian,
it would
Arto,
make a lot
Tap,
of sense if there was a brand called
Smart
Tap
Flow,
Water.
Tap.
though.
Look it up. Is there a brand called Tap Water?
Hold on. Okay. Bottled water brand tap water. Well, okay.
No. Pretty sure it's just the tap water.
You know, I would actually want to buy a
People would be Googling tap water all the time, and if you actually started a brand called Tap Water,
You
Yeah.
need a lot of traction.
put like some little tap shoe like dancer as your like mascot on the bottle, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Call,
Look at those Jordan 3s.
call them the tap.
People would come
Oh,
across
damn.
your brand advertisement pretty much for free.
Yeah. Don't mind us. We're being distracted by the shoes down here. Yeah. Look at them sick kicks. I like that.
Not my style, personally, but
Well, no, yours
do
are
you.
yours are Vans.
yeah.
Yeah, Vans and Converses.
Skate shoes.
Yeah. Whereas I
I
just
like
love the
all
Jordans.
shoes.
I love Jordans, man. I look for deals whenever Jordans come out. Anyway, sorry.
More so than tap water? Trust me, in this house we drink tap water. We have a 5-year filter underneath our sink. We just put it in a couple months ago. So we're all filtered up in this house. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. I know that there's plenty of bottled water out there that's bad. You know, see Dasani, for instance. But I feel like if that statement was completely true, bottled water would be killing people if they're taking swamp water and quote-unquote making it clear. I don't know.
I mean, how do you
that
know
poor
it's not?
child. How embarrassing for her. Next time her mom interrogates her about anything, she'll just learn to lie. Oh, absolutely. They contribute half of the plastic into the ocean. They themselves are half the trash in the ocean. That is incredibly true. I'd believe that one regardless. Okay, bottled water is, of course, trash. I wasn't trying to go to their defense, really, there. The statement just felt a little, okay, we know bottled water's bad. You don't have to try and make it seem worse. It's already top-level bad when it comes to bottled water, all right? They do not recycle bottles. Less than 10% of all plastic literally ever created in human history has been recycled, okay? So don't trust bottled water companies. They're pretty freaking awful for many other reasons. What the hell? I read this from the start assuming you were American. Then, when I got to the bit where you're revealed you're a fellow Aussie, I really lost my We have some of the cleanest, safest tap water in the world. I don't know anyone who drinks bottled water at home. Let me guess. The mom's one of those nut jobs who thinks fluoride and chlorine are super dangerous. Someone's drinking it. Why else are there pallets and pallets of bottled water in every servo and supermarket? Good point. Who are these weirdos? People that get obsessive very quickly. My parents cut my beard when I was sleeping.
What the hell?
The fuck now?
My parents had a strict clean shave policy when I was growing up, but now that I'm an adult and I now live on my own, well, you know, I had grown a kind of long French beard during the lockdown and was visiting my family
That
once the travel
mustache,
restrictions
though.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that twirly twirly. Yeah, that's a conquistador right
were
there.
relaxed. My parents are hardcore Islamophobes, and they were horrified seeing my Muslim beard.
You know, okay, I've had some family members look at my beard and just be like, God dang, Nate, you converting to Al Qaeda?
Did you really say that?
No, yeah, well, my cousin Daniel did, and I'm just like, Daniel, you have a beard too, and like his beard was more like what Nick has, you know, more of like a short beard, whereas mine's a fairly long beard. It's just my beard hair curls up, like right here, like this is how long my beard hair is.
I've been putting off doing anything to mine because I can't decide what I actually want to go with. So
Like-
I just have neck
like,
beard right now.
That's how long my beard hair is. It's just it doesn't look it because it curls up so much. But yeah, there's a reason why I don't talk to a lot of my family members on certain sides. But the truth is, you know, I've been like questioned about my beard. It's just like, son, what? Just like, what is wrong? Is there something wrong with the clippers in your house? And my dad doesn't give a shit because my dad literally had like the goatee, but he grew his goatee down to like right here. And every now and again, I'd walk in the house and I'd see him just like have it like bent up, and like he'd have it in his mouth like, just
Oh my God.
just to mess with me. I was like, "Gee, Dad, what is going?" And he's like, what's good, son? How you doing?
Speaking of making Nate jump, I forgot to tell you I got him pretty good earlier.
Yes, he did. I was coming
I
downstairs.
came down here to see if I could play Tears of the Kingdom on the TV. I couldn't figure out how to get the switch to come up on the TV down here, so I had just given up when I heard the door open and him start to come downstairs, and I almost went, hello? But then I was like, I got a better idea. And I walked over like right next to the closet and under the stairs right over there and waited for him to round the corner and just went, and like, yeah.
And I
I can't remember what sound I made. It was like,
yeah,
or something. And
you-
he was like,
like-
Jesus! And he almost
Yeah.
threw his drink
I
at
was
me.
just, yeah, I was like, fuck. He scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, when Nate's scared, he gets violent. He almost punched me in the face.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm very defensive whenever it comes to being scared. I have to stop myself from like, cause dude, I decked
I got
someone
you
one
really
time.
good that
Yes,
one time.
you did. I will admit that. But I decked someone one time who'd scared the shit out of me.
Please don't deck me.
No. Here's the thing, though. He was wearing a hockey mask, and it was like like hard plastic.
Mm-mm.
I caught him like right here in the forehead, and all of a sudden it's just like, ah, fuck! fuck. And then he's just like, God dang, Nate, what the hell? And I'm just like, scared the shit out of me, man. He's like, yeah, and you punched the shit out of me, dude. Oh, God. And I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry, man. He's like, he takes off the mask. He's like, is there a mark? He's like, there's a little red, but nothing bad. It's like, I look down at my hand, like my 2 knuckles here are like starting to turn red. I'm like, oh man. Went to the kitchen, put some ice on my hand, and I was sitting there with him. And he was just like, remind me never to scare you again. God damn. Like,
The only time she really ever got me was when she wasn't trying to. So just
Yeah,
turned
that was
around in the
good.
kitchen at night, and she was just fucking standing there, and I was just.
I thought he saw me.
I wasn't paying attention.
Nick
I thought
has
I was
horrible
completely,
vision.
thought I was completely alone. I just turned around and she's standing there, and I was just like, "Fucking jeez!"
I was just holding the cat, waiting for him to get out of the way so I could get a plate.
And then she's tried to scare me like 80 other times, and it never works.
it's the ones that you don't expect.
And they asked me to shave it because people might think I've converted to Islam and it's going to tarnish my family's reputation.
That's
I basically
bullshit.
told them to f off and mind about their pubes rather than my beard. Today I was sleeping on the couch and my mom cut my beard off and now it's an ugly mess and I have no option but to shave it off, and I can't leave this place as I am under 14-day home quarantine as I travel from another state, and I feel they have won for now. I think it's great that parents get to completely void your right to any privacy as a human being, and they don't need your consent to do pretty much anything to you. Even if it's cutting off hair, they should not have the right to do that. If I did that to somebody, that would be tantamount to what? Assault? I
Yes.
touched someone
Yeah.
without their consent. But no, parents just get to do whatever the they want. If you can handle leaving it like that until you leave, it would probably upset them even more.
You know what I would do? You know what I would do, probably just to mess with them? I would put some peroxide in my mom's hair wash, thus turning her hair blonde. And I would put Bengay on my dad's underwear.
That's fucked up.
Fuck them, dude. If they're gonna pull that shit, it's like I'm just gonna be sitting there, clean shaven. I'll just be like, oh, something wrong, guys? Oh, I'm so
I would get
Damn.
on the fucking internet and find the email for their church, and I would send an email to their pastor being like, can you please talk to my parents on Sunday, because both of them have let me know that they're seriously considering converting to Islam.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
just fucking
God.
get them
Like
back.
a
You know, they're gonna
revenge.
show up at church, and the pastor's gonna be like, I hear you're considering converting to Islam, you know? They're gonna be like, what? No! Like, and he's
Also,
gonna, no.
also,
Let me talk to you about
hey, Christians, look who had a dope ass beard. Look who had a dope ass beard. You know, in every single time,
Depiction.
every depiction of Christ, whether it be, you know the. Oh God, I'm just looking here at all the interpretations of Christ. It's just like, wow, and it's like, it doesn't matter, you know, like what Christ looked like. Look at that beard. Every single one of them, he's got a dope-ass beard. And, are you saying that Jesus was a Muslim? Are you saying... No, I'll tell you the truth. Jesus was Jewish. That's right. He was Jewish. Jesus H, man. Christians don't even know their own history sometimes. It's like,
Well, it's like he couldn't have been Christian because religion was based around him and his death.
didn't exist. It didn't exist at the time. Jeez Louise, man.
Petty revenge. Cutting someone's hair off when they're asleep is actually, oh yeah, there you go.
There you
Counts
go.
as assault in some places. So there it is. Oh, but parents get to do that when it's their kids. I can't decide what aspect is more alarming, the physical assault, because that's what it is, the racism, or the entitlement. Being trapped there during quarantine is heinous. Perhaps contact the local authorities to finish quarantine elsewhere as you've been victimized in your current location. Cut her hair. Tell her you did it because you were worried that she looked Muslim. When she states that doesn't exactly make any sense, blast her on a huge smile and say,
Exactly.
"Whoa, exactly. Yeah, if my mom ever did that, that's it. We're throwing hands. All right, I'm getting a bottle out of the kitchen and busting it in half. We're going."
Fair enough. Oh boy. Yeah, so
Yeah, I think making their pastor think that they're considering converting to Muslim would be Islam would be the way to go, you know?
I can see that.
Make them have to go
boy.
through crap related to what they just put you through based off their logic, you know?
Yeah, true. Oh boy. So yeah, those are definitely some entitled parents, and honestly, the less I would have to deal with them, the happier I would be, because that's some old bullshit right there, man. I mean, my mom loves me, and she'd never do something like that. You know, she'd never resort to cutting off my beard or anything like that. The worst that I would get from her is she would hide in the hallway as I was leaving the door and would try and scare the shit out of you. Yes, she would. Way
I've
more
heard
often.
many stories.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Me
The
walking
best
down the
one
stairs.
was when she said that she was hiding under something and she grabbed your ankle.
Yes.
And scared
I
the shit
jumped out of my skin. There was another one too. She scared me. She was like coming up behind me and I was bent over and she scared me. She was like, ah! And then I popped up really fast and the back of my head hit her right in the nose and busted her nose open. I'm talking like full on like gusher.
Oh my god.
And then Mom was like sitting in the bathroom for like a solid 20 minutes. Like she ran right in the house after she did it. It was outside on the back deck. She runs in the house and all of a sudden I see her a little bit later and she's just like, I'm okay. I'm okay. Lesson learned. Not gonna do that again. So, yeah, looks like we're not gonna be able to go to the movie. So, you want to order pizza?
I'll be like, yeah, pizza sounds cool.
I just felt so bad. I was so mortified. And then Mom comes back later after got the bleeding stopped. She's got like two pieces of toilet paper up her nose, and she's like, we're all good, Nate. We're all good. Oh, I'm like, is it broken? She's like, I hope not, but I'm like, it doesn't hurt as bad anymore. And I was like, Mom, I am so sorry. She's like, I'm never going to scare you like that again. Ever. Like, I would recommend it. Oh, God. I still feel bad about that one because I
didn't hear about that one.
Oh, at first she was really mad. And then she eventually calmed down. Because I remember we were going to go, I forget what movie we were going to watch. It was when I was like, 11 or 12 years old. Gosh. And I remember we were going to go watch a movie and then that happened and we had to like cut our plans off.
You got pizza instead.
Hey, it was good pizza. It was Pizza King. I like Pizza King. Although I will say this, right now probably my favorite is still like the Hut. I mean Pizza Hut. It's just they're expensive. Oh God.
But
pizza sounds good.
I was gonna say now I really fucking want pizza because I think it's been a full month since I've had any.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Is Domino's still open? Maybe we could place an order for Domino's.
I don't think they are.
They are. They're open till midnight.
Wow.
So I could place the order now and then go get it.
Yes, you'd have to end this recording real fast then.
Yes, it would. So, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you want to see more from MK, feel free to click their name in the title of the video. This was r/Entitledparents. Why?